Now it's going to be a sack. Chris Jones smokes Phillip Rivers right back at the 40.
He's not banking on the skill that he's been blessed with.
He ends on Kelce. Great catch. Touchdown. Kansas City. He's around Standard. Look at him go. Impossible. Touchdown, Kansas City. Carr's in trouble. He is going to be pulled down and sacked. Justin Houston.
Well, the Chiefs lose here to the Seattle Seahawks. Now 17-2 in primetime games at home under Pete Carroll. The Chiefs lose. I'm going to start, though, with this. Changes nothing. Chiefs win next week at home. Let's just start there. We'll talk about this game. Chiefs win at home. They're the 1 seed. They win the AFC West for the 3rd straight year. That changes. This game changes nothing again.
Yeah, it's hard to think about that right now because this loss does sting, especially the way that it happened and some of the plays that people are going to remember for the next few days. But at the end of the day, Mitch, you're exactly right. You got to be pragmatic about it and understand that everything the team wants to accomplish is still right in front of them. Just take care of business at home against the division rival in the Oakland Raiders.
All right, we saw some heroic performances in this game. Mahomes again, that drive to get within 3 points with the touchdown and to go for 2. Demarcus Robinson, a great catch. And then Damian Williams had the fumble early, but he was over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, to me, one of the bright spots of this game was Damian Williams. We said last week that was the best game of his career, where he topped that, had 140 total yards from scrimmage, had the touchdown. And even more than just the box score and the stats is he provided energy. Mitch, you and I talk about it all the time, being an energy giver. And he did that early in the game when the Chiefs offense needed a spark. The whole team needed a spark to kind of get out of this kind of slow funk they had in. The crowd was into it. The Seahawks were into it. And Damian Williams really provided that and kind of got things rolling for the Chiefs, particularly offensively.
Interesting in this game, 38-31, but the Chiefs had only one lead. It was a 10-7. There's a couple critical junctures in the game where a roughing the kicker penalty on a missed 46-yard field goal. Chiefs were down 4, but if they get the ball, they could take a 17-14 lead.
Yeah, Mitch, there's a handful of plays that you can remember. To me, the ones that are stand, the 3rd and 13 that was converted early in the game, the 19-yard scramble, and then the 3rd and 15. And both of those conversions led to touchdowns for the Seahawks. And at the end of the day, you got to tackle in space. You've got to make plays in those situations. And then again, at the end, we talked about it earlier off camera, but you got to give credit to the Seahawks. When you think they're going to run the ball late, for Russell Wilson to throw a dime 45 yards down the field with pretty good coverage on that play, for Tyler Lockett to make that play, and then for Doug Baldwin to make the one-handed catch. This wasn't one of those the Chiefs just gifted it away for the entire game. The Seahawks had to make plays to go out there and earn it, and they did.
A couple of defensive moves here that are of note, because going into the Oakland week, we'll see what the Chiefs do, and that is to put young guys on the field. Javarius Ward was out there, and the same thing with Tremon Smith. Now, they got picked on, but it's really their first real action. There were some battles won, particularly by Tremon Smith.
Yeah, he made some plays. It was good to see him come back after he made a couple mistakes, gave up a touchdown. To see him come back and fight the way he did, and he had the one pass breakup late. That was a key play in that game. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Kendall Fuller, see how he can do over the next week, see if he's able to get out there and play, and then go back and watch the tape and see what we thought about the young safeties. And veteran Ron Parker not being active in this game gave an opportunity for Jordan Lucas to get out there. And then hopefully we'll hear from Eric Berry and see how he's feeling after getting some more snaps. I know he wasn't out there late in the game. Was on a pitch count again, but it'll be interesting to see how those guys feel.
Mahomes sets another record, all-time passing leader, single season in Chiefs history. 3 more touchdown passes, but he now knows it's hollow. Want to get a victory and try to do it against the Oakland Raiders. What does Big Red think? Let's hear now from Andy Reid, who's at the podium here in Seattle.
All right. As far as the injuries go, there really isn't a lot here. Darrell Williams with a slight hamstring, and that happened in the first half. So, listen, the Seahawks played better football than we did today. My hat goes off to Pete and the job that he did with his guys. They played well. There were some good things. There were some things we can learn from. I played some young guys tonight that I wanted to just get a look at, that I thought could help us a bit. They had some learning experiences, but they battled through. There were some good things in the mix of it. But, and then if you ask me about Parker's done a great job for us. The 2 guys that were originally the starters had an opportunity to start today, and so that's the route I went with it. So I sat Park down. Again, one of my all-time favorite guys. That was a decision that I made there. Again, with the guys that we had healthy there and special teams and all the things that go into it, I thought that was the best setup for us. So with that, time's yours.
Andy, from what you were able to see, did you feel like Ward and Smith were an upgrade over Scandrick?
I'm not going to compare the things there. I thought they did some decent. Ward did some decent things there, and in that position. So I just I went there. Scandrick's had some good snaps for us too. So I don't want to. I'm not going to sit and compare guys.
It looked like he wasn't playing on that final Seahawks drive, but he reached his snap.
Who wasn't? Yeah. So Eric. With the extended drives we had, all of a sudden the snap count started getting up there a little bit as far as play count goes, and so pulled him out of there and just off of that.
How would you assess how Patrick played today?
Yeah, I thought he did some good things. He gave us a chance there at the end. With some plays. I mean, he's done some phenomenal things throughout this year, and we'll continue here as we finish up things that have never been done before. So, my hat goes off to him for that, and he's the kind of guy that comes into work every day ready to go, and so again, like every game, there's always something to learn for all of us, and but I thought he battled like crazy and. Did some put us in a position where we had a chance,
So often it seems like Patrick's the one at the end of games making these improbable throws. Tonight it was Russell Wilson. What was he doing that was really frustrating?
Yeah, I mean, Russell did a nice job. He put the ball up, guys. I mean, we were off by like a hair on some of these. I mean, we were right there, and we have to learn from that and get better. Those are young guys that are in those positions doing that, and there's some things that they can take out of this to make them better down the road. But they were in position. You just got to make the play. So that's the bottom line, and we've got to do better at that.
Looked like the offensive line in front of Patrick's typical breakdowns. What was Seattle doing that was so effective?
Yeah, listen, they're a good defense, and they've got a good defensive front, and they're going to get there. You throw quite as much as we did there to catch up. That they're going to have a couple pressure. So. The guys will go back, they'll analyze it, and we'll see what we can do to make it better.
Andy, what did you see from the young corners that led you to give them a shot tonight?
Yeah, it's a decision on my part. As a change-up, give them an opportunity. They've got good speed and ability, so I thought it'd be worth a shot there. So.
You inclined to stick with them?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. They did some good things, I thought.
You got to a point where you were down 10 and you ended up kicking the field goal first. With the way the kickoff rules have changed, was there any consideration or temptation to kick before the 2-minute warning so you could maybe kick?
Well, we wanted to get up another playoff before the 2-minute warning. We didn't get that done, so I didn't like the way that happened. But no, we played it the way I did want to get another playoff. Not it wasn't a kick, but I wanted to get another playoff there, and then. We were half a hop off on the onside kick, to give ourselves a chance. But
This is the first time you guys have lost and not rebounded with a lead. It's 3 out of 5. What's your level of concern overall?
Yeah, so I want to win every game, right? I mean, that's what we want to do. But I'm also in a position where you've got to fix some problems and learn from them. We're teachers here, so we're going to go back and learn from our mistakes and get ourselves better. In this league, it's that close, the margin between winning and losing. So we just got to straighten a couple things out, and then we'll be okay. It seems extreme right now, but that's not the reality of it. We fix a couple things, and we'll be all right.
Couple more.
Andy, I apologize if this is already asked. I want to get a little late, but the offense was slow early, hot late. Was that just? Yeah,
well, turnovers and penalties. That we got to stop that, and it was defensively the same thing. You got to stop those special teams. That was a big one. When you rough the kicker, and I believe he missed a kick and the field goal, and so you're off the field there. These are things that we got to take care of, and we got to get better at, and. I've got to make sure I'm putting the guys in the right position. Bob's putting the guys in the right position. Dave, that's our responsibility to do that. So collectively, it's all of us that need to do a better job. And that's the important thing right now is get it taken care of.
Week to week, it seems like the penalties continue to be an issue. Is there a common thread that for why they keep occurring?
Yeah, I think you're seeing. I saw some games today. I think you're seeing it throughout the league. It's an issue, and but the bottom line is we're not going to make excuses. We're going to try to work our fundamentals better and take care of it. We're just doing them in inopportune times, and it's costing us. So we've got to make sure we take care of our part of it and work on keep working on our fundamentals and techniques and move our feet so we're in better position. But we have an opportunity to finish this thing the right way. It's important that we do that and we pull it all together and get ourselves ready to go.
How much of your message is the problems that need to be fixed? How much of it is when you have everything that you want in the number one seed? You don't feel about that?
Well, I think the guys know that. That's out there. I don't have to say much on that. I know if you take care of business, you don't have to talk about anything. We play the way we can play, and we're going to play. We're tough. We're a tough team right there, and as good as anybody in the National Football League. So let's take care of that, and then let's see how that works out. And I think we'd be fine if we just take care of our business there.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Chiefs reporter BJ Kissel down here with Alan Bailey. Alan, I know this is a tough one. Just what was Coach's message to you guys in the locker room after the game?
We got to take it. I literally got to own and take it. Can't play around with it.
Think about what you guys did defensively out there. Just what do you need to do to improve upon this going into next week against the Raiders?
Back end. We got to keep applying pressure and improve the back end. Keep doing everybody do their job and go from there.
I know you guys don't like to look around and put it in other people's hands, but with what the Ravens were able to do in beating the Chargers and the Texans losing, knowing that you still got the opportunity to win the division and still secure the number one overall seed to the win next week, how do you guys turn the page and get ready for next week?
Just win. It was handed to us last week. We left the plate on the table. Got to win. Handed to us today. Just got to win, man. Simple as that.
Thanks, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, losing games. We've been in every game that we've lost, but we have to find ways to win. And as we go into this next week against the Raiders, they're going to be ready to play us, and we got to find a way to win. And then you get to the playoffs, and you have to find a way to win these games, and we haven't been lately. And so that's the most frustrating thing. But everybody's got to step up. We got to find a way to go out there and win big football games.
Did you possibly feel overamped coming out early? It looked like you were off field for a bit early on. And the long ball, Travis.
No, I wasn't overamped. I knew it was going to be a great atmosphere to play in. I knew the fans were going to be loud. The ball to Trav, I was actually thinking about throwing it to Tyreek, and he got bumped off his route, and they played a good coverage on him. So Trav came open. I have to find a way to get the ball to him since he was the guy open in that situation. So I have to make sure that, and if I get those opportunities, I capitalize on them.
Does the loss today and last week feel different than those earlier losses you guys had to the Patriots and to the Rams?
It's only different in a sense as if we would have won either of these games, we would have got the AFC West already, and it's frustrating knowing that we've had it so close both times. Luckily, we're still in position that we're going to have the opportunity to go out there and win it next week, but it is frustrating losing these games with the opportunity to win the AFC West and try to get the number one seed so close.
With this being your first year as a starter, what were some of the guys telling you in the locker room after this game, knowing that with each game it's only going to get more magnified?
I think the message in the locker room is everybody's got to step up. Everybody, special teams, offense, defense, has to step up if we want to win. You can't be satisfied with what's gotten us here. This is when it counts. And so that's the message, that everybody's got to do something. Can't take anything for granted. We're not satisfied with just being here. We want to make sure that we find a way to win these games as this end of the season and the playoffs go.
Patrick, I know it wasn't a loss, so it doesn't matter, but can you walk us through the Charcandrick touchdown?
Yeah, they played actually good coverage and had everybody covered. The offensive line blocked well, but they had a good coverage versus the play that we had called, and I scrambled to the left, and And Charcandrick came back with me, and I found a way to throw him the ball, and he made a great play and scored.
It looked like the offensive line was getting beat a little bit with some of their pass rush. They were getting good pressure on you. What were you seeing from your perspective that Seattle was doing so well there?
I mean, they have good pass rushers. They've got guys they developed and they've drafted that can get after the quarterback, and we knew that coming in. I thought the offensive line played well. I thought they gave me time whenever I needed it, and I felt like we just had to find ways to get the ball out of my hand on time, and then find ways to move the ball in some situations where we didn't.
Did you learn much about Damian Williams since he's started getting a lot of playing time?
Yeah, I mean, I knew he had this in him ever since training camp. I mean, you could see the talent, you could see the ability to catch the ball in the backfield, but at the same time run in between the tackles. And so he stepped up these last few weeks, and we'll hopefully be able to get Spence back too to add into that room. But I mean, we've everybody who's gotten their opportunity has stepped up and made some plays.
You guys had a number of 3-and-outs where you get your opportunity and then you have to come off the field so quickly. What are you finding that doesn't work on those sort of drives, and how frustrating is it when you have a touchdown drive and then the next drive you're sort of back off to the sideline?
I mean, you have to give credit to the defense. I mean, they had a good game plan. This is a good defense, and it has been for a long time. And they stopped us on some of those drives. I mean, you don't want that to happen. You want to be able to sustain drives, but we have to find a way to have success as much as possible and kind of cancel out those 3-and-outs.
The turnovers that happened, Damian Williams' fumble and Chris Conley's fumble, how much did it feel like to you that kind of shifted the momentum?
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the top defenses in the league of stripping the ball out. We talked about it all week. I mean, you can't have those things. You can't have turnovers. You can't have penalties when you play good defenses. And we did early, and it kind of stalled out some of the drives, and we fixed it up in that second half. But you gotta maintain that for a full game in order to win games.
All right, thank you.
So back here outside the locker room, Chiefs lose it to the Seahawks 38-31, but welcome back, Skittles. Welcome back, Charcandrick West. Just how good is it? I mean, after Labor Day weekend, we're all a little bit heartbroken, and now here you are like you never missed a beat.
Oh, man, it's like I said, it's always a blessing to be back here on this team. It's crazy how things worked out this year, and I ended up back here. I definitely didn't think I was going to score a touchdown this year or even touch a football, so I'm lost for words right now.
Well, if you would have said a month ago that you'd be out here in Sunday Night Football in front of the entire country watching and then catch a Mahomes running to his left, throwing back across his right. You hadn't had a ton of reps with him recently. Just what was going through your mind when you were running, and just kind of walk us through that play?
Oh, man, we've all seen some of the plays that Patrick has made this year. I mean, he's unbelievable. And a play is never dead when you got a quarterback like this. I mean, you always got to keep your head on the swivel. I mean, how many touchdowns he done through the different guys? I'm just happy to be one of them.
Yeah, another guy finds the end zone. How have you been able to integrate so quickly? It's like you never missed a beat, like you were never gone.
I'm telling you, that's the crazy thing. I done worked out for multiple teams, and to come back to a situation that I've been in for 5 years and know it's like, I mean, it's kind of like it worked out perfect. I mean, it's truly a blessing to be standing here with you guys.
I know that Coach Reid always talks about energy givers, and I know that you do it. You do it at practice. You do it every day. You got your smile on your face. I want to ask you about Damian Williams and what he was able to do today, especially early in the game, provide that spark when it seemed like you guys needed it.
Oh man, we call Damian the crazy man. Man, he always juiced up, man. But like I said, he runs hard. He's a great football player, but even a great brother. And that's the thing about this team. And we're not really down on this loss today because we know we're a family. We stick together. We're gonna come back next week and we're gonna put those hats and T-shirts on.
Final question deals with next weekend. You have been in this league 5 years. You had T-shirts on, division title. Everything's right there in front of you. So let's ask how you handle it, and this locker room handles it mentally to win that game and win the AFC West.
Man, after the game, we 0-0. We're gonna go in. I mean, we're gonna go in with this like this our Super Bowl next weekend, and I'm gonna put that hat and T-shirt on again. Then we're gonna go on down the road and put that ring on. Gotcha.
All right, the Chiefs lose it here 38-31, but get ready as the Chiefs have a big showdown game next week with the Oakland Raiders. When we come back, some final thoughts from here in Seattle.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. I know you're disappointed. So many missed opportunities out there to get them off the field. It seemed like the penalties, the turnovers, just too much.
Yeah, listen, it was. I mean, we played some young guys out there today, and so a tough place to play, and they got a couple lessons from it that might help them down the road. So, listen, they battled, we battled, they got the best of us. we've got to do better. And there's plenty of things that we can learn from this and get better on. So that's what we'll do.
It seemed like things weren't going your way for almost the whole game. In the end of the fourth quarter, talk about the moxie of your team to just fight their way back. I mean, you guys were in it.
Yeah, listen, I mean, we were killing ourselves, just stopping ourselves. We were extending plays, and we got to get out of that. You got to get out of that part of it and get that answered. So you can function, you can maintain drives, and then you can get off the field. And we're so close on that, and it can change in a heartbeat in this league. You know, you got to keep fighting, and then good things happen. So we'll do that. We're going to get back on it, and we're going to study, learn from the mistakes, and get ourselves better here before next week.
You mentioned the trial by fire for some of the DBs. How about, I thought Damian Williams ran really tough today. Also, Charcandrick West gets in there and gets a TD.
Yeah, no, listen, there were some good things, but we need to extend it and do better and kind of get ourselves back into a groove here. And so we'll get back to work and do that and get ourselves right.
Listen, I know you didn't get any time off this week. You got a tough game now, one that means a lot next week against the Raiders. You're flexed into the 325 slot. But I wanted to just say Merry Christmas to you, to your family.
No, I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to the Sea of Red, too, man. We appreciate you. We need you there this coming week versus the Raiders. So we look forward to getting back into Arrowhead and giving you a better show than we have here. So.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it.
Well, the Chiefs lose it here in Seattle, but again, everything's in play. We'll get to that in a second. But there were some other plays here. Marcus Kemp plays on downing the punt. Oh, my gosh, and learning how to play with Colquitt.
It saved points. They ended up going down and getting just outside field goal range. They ended up having to punt and pin the Chiefs back. But I remember when it happened, you saw the end of the drive where they couldn't kick the field goal. And Marcus Kemp, we've seen him work on that over and over and over again. Because early in the season, made a couple mistakes trying to do something just like that. And it makes one of the best special teams plays of the season. That was huge in that moment.
And depth at running back. Charcandrick West played great in this game. A check down catch, and then the touchdown where he knew how to play with Mahomes.
Yeah, the move he made in the open field on that late reception to cut back into the inside to get the first down, that was huge. And then just to be ready for a guy who hadn't been around Patrick Mahomes and taken a lot of reps with him this season before joining a couple of weeks ago, for him to be ready for that ball to be thrown across the middle was big.
Now, nobody's played a tougher schedule than the Chiefs. I'll sit down and argue with you all day. The equity that they earned early in the season now pays off because it's this. The Chiefs win against Oakland. 325, the game has been moved. 325. They win. Everything's in play. 1 seed, AFC West champs.
I know as frustrating as it is for Chiefs fans to lose this game and to lose some of the games that they have in the way that they've lost them, you still have to think, as frustrating as that is, that you still have the 1 seed and the division title right in your grasp. They fight back. We saw what Patrick Mahomes did late in this game. They just got to make a few more stops, clean up a few things. It's not like the team can't get better in a lot of ways, but we needed some perspective to step back and say this team is still on the verge of being the number 1 seed and being the best team in the AFC, and the road to the Super Bowl is still going to go through Arrowhead.
And rally all of the Chiefs Kingdom. This 12-group crowd, they were awesome in this game. But we know what the Chiefs Kingdom can do. It's got to be all there Sunday afternoon at 3:25 as the Chiefs go for another division title.